Hello, Vudani here, and today I'm going to give you a PvP overview of the Mesmer class in Guild Wars 2. One of the main reasons to like the Mesmer is the very unique playstyle. No other class has anything even similar to the illusion mechanic that Mesmers have. You will have two types of illusions available to you. Clones, which are basically just fodder, they're not going to do much damage but they're going to distract your enemies. And Phantasms, which is going to be a very high source of damage for the Mesmer. The fact that clones look exactly like you when they're summoned make them excellent decoys. These are usually used for defense or your shatter skill. Phantasms, however, have a translucent look and carry illusionary weapons that are specific to the skill. Many traits work hand in hand with these illusions, giving them a very wide variety of effects. You are, however, limited to only having 3 illusions up at a time, but this should not worry you. Your F1 through F4 abilities are called shatters, and like the word shatter may suggest, it will shatter your illusions. It can either cause damage, confusion, daze, or evasion to yourself in the form of distortion. Distortion is a unique evasion mechanic available only to the Mesmer, and these shattering skills all can be powered by having more illusions up at a time. The amount of illusions you have when you shatter them will increase the effectiveness of those effects. Aside from illusions, Mesmers have access to many manipulative effects. This includes a skill that will allow you to teleport yourself and allies across a very long distance. While these are all very useful skills, the thing that you note most about when you see a Mesmer is the amount of illusions they have. You may think that picking the real Mesmer out in a group of clones would be easy, but with the amount of stealths and other support abilities the Mesmer has, it can be quite the chore. It can be very difficult at times. It doesn't help that in the mess of clones and Phantasm, the Mesmer is applying many unique skills such as confusion, and they're also going to be using skills such as distortion to evade damage. The combination of you killing yourself, the Mesmer being invincible, and just clones everywhere can be quite difficult to manage. The difficulty you can create for your opponent to kill you as a Mesmer is one reason that they're very good in tournament play. Buffing friends and staying alive is the Mesmer's specialty. Not only that, but they still put out a good amount of damage. Controlling points becomes very easy when you have Mesmers just clearing people out. Not only that, but the presence of the Moa bird makes the Mesmer incredibly good in 1 vs 1s. With a 10-second, basically, I win button, you can't really kill a Mesmer if they have Moa up. Perhaps you could get lucky and survive the Moa bird, but I guarantee you a good Mesmer will have made good use of that and the damage will be done. Of course, the Mesmer does have a few weaknesses. First of all, they have fairly limited burst. A large portion of their damage doesn't come from their main attack. Instead, it comes from Phantasms and other effects, and that will lower your burst a bit. While you will have your F1 ability Mind Rack for burst, it comes at a very high cost. Sometimes destroying too many illusions will cost you a battle. However, oftentimes it will also win you the battle. It's a very high-risk playstyle that takes some getting used to. And lastly, I feel like the Mesmer weapons are a bit weak. This is because Phantasms are expected to be used, but there aren't really any viable builds that do not use Phantasms. A good chunk of your damage is going to come from illusions, and you can't really avoid that with the Mesmer. If you're looking to have a build that doesn't have clones and Phantasms, you're gonna have a bad time. Overall, I rate the Mesmer's PvP effectiveness a 4.5 out of 5. And the reason I've rated the Mesmer so high is not that it can kill people incredibly fast, but it offers a lot of utility that other classes cannot offer. In hot join matches, it's incredibly easy to stay alive if you play your cards right. Using all of your survival skills available, you'll be able to move around the battlefield and stick with the pack and just pick people off. In tournament play, the sheer amount of unique support available to the Mesmer validates their spot. Not only that, but it's very difficult to kill a Mesmer before reinforcements arrive at a point. And lastly, for World vs World, they have a couple good skills for buffing allies around them as well as weakening foes. They don't necessarily do much damage and their clones aren't particularly useful, but they have enough unique utility that makes them have a very good role in World vs World. As always, I hope this video was helpful. If you'd like to see some Mesmer gameplay, I'll link it on screen and in the description. If you're interested in seeing more overviews as well as builds, gameplay commentaries, and just general Guild Wars 2 theorycraft, feel free to subscribe. And thanks for watching.